Hello and welcome to today's lesson. Today we are going to focus on understanding multiplication of fractions, two mixed fractions using a grid. Let's get started. So we have 2.5 times 1/3. 2.5 times 1/3. So to begin with, 2.5 is the same as 2 plus a half, and 1/3 is the same as 1 plus a third. So 2.5 in 2, let's first of all remember that in 1 there are 2 halves. So in 2 we have a total of 4 halves. 4 halves. And adding the one that is already there, we have 5 halves. In 1, there are 3 thirds. Adding the third that is there, we make 4 thirds. So we need to show this multiplication using a grid. So I'm going to use a rectangular grid, and I'm going to show my first fraction 5/2 horizontally, and my second fraction 4/3 vertically. So 5 halves. So I'm going to partition, my horizontal length into parts, partitions, where each will represent a half. So if this one marks my origin, that means my first partition here will be the first half. Then we have the second half. We have the third half. Then we have the fourth half. And we have the fifth half. Fifth half. So, showing the 4/3 vertically, we are going to do the same. I'm going to make partitions. And from 0, the first partition will represent the first third. Then we have the second third, the third third, and the fourth third. Now, in my drawing, I must ensure that in a way I will be able to see the dimension for 1 by 1, 1 by 1. And if I look at what I have already, for the halves, 2/2 is equivalent to 1. By the way, 4/2 is equivalent to 2 whole. 3/3 here, 3/3 is equivalent to 1. This area here is of great importance. The area bounded by 1 unit horizontally and 1 unit vertically, because that will help us to find the denominator for our answer. Now, let us find the final answer for this question. Final answer. So we need the numerator and we need the denominator. Now, the numerator, let me write here because of space, the numerator will be the number of parts it takes an area of 5 halves by 4 third. So 5/2, it reaches here. That's why, you know, we were multiplying 5/2 and 4/3, and 4/3 reaches here. So we are interested, if I were to shade, I can shade the area I'm interested in, which is indicated by the numbers I'm multiplying, the fractions I'm multiplying. So 5/2 is up to here, yeah. And 4/3 is up to there. And therefore the number of parts, it takes an area of 5/2 by 4/3. That will be our numerator. And in this case, how many are these? So these are 20 pieces or 20 parts. You count those little squares. There are 20 of them. Now, denominator of our fraction is the number of parts it takes an area of 1 by 1. Remember, I had mentioned about that, and I actually indicated with the pink highlight. This is the area that we can show of 1 by 1. And how many pieces, parts, or little squares are in or within the area of 1 by 1? There are 6 of them, 6 parts. And therefore, in this case, the final answer will be 20/6. 20/6. If you like it better, 20/6 can actually be simplified to 10/3, which is simply 3 1/3.